Hey, it's Luke Narwhal here, and welcome back to another weight loss discussion. Today we are going to be reading one from Reddit, but this is a new one, so let's go ahead and dive right in. Fat positive influencers are a menace to society. Body positivity versus fat positivity. Greetings from a fat girl. Over the past few months, I found myself getting sucked into the fat positivity side of TikTok. Maybe it's because the algorithm knows I'm fat, but I do not share the opinions of many fat positive influencers. In fact, this topic actually gets me quite heated. A little background. I was an overweight child that grew into an overweight adult. Medically, I'm actually considered obese. I've always wanted to lose weight, and I have lost weight in the past. However, my very unhealthy relationship with food and lack of motivation to do anything about it has caused me to stay consistently the same weight for the past couple of years, unable to lose and don't normally gain. However, due to health reasons, I began a regimen a few weeks ago in order to become more healthy. I wouldn't say my goal is to necessarily lose weight because I don't even own a scale, but I just want to be healthy. Now, on to my rant about why fat positivity is toxic. In my opinion, there's a clear distinction between body positivity and fat positivity. Body positivity incorporates all types of different bodies: light-skinned, dark-skinned, tall, short, plump, skinny. I think body positivity is important because everybody deserves to love themselves. Whether you're 120 pounds or 300 pounds, you should always appreciate that you have an alive and working body. Nobody deserves to be criticized on their body because a body is so personal. No two are the same. On the other hand, fat positivity disguises itself as body positivity. Fat liberators, tired enough of being clumped in with all other types of bodies, felt entitled enough to begin their own movement, one that encourages a fat lifestyle. As mentioned before, everybody deserves to love their body. However, encouraging a fat lifestyle only does more harm than good. A fat person can be healthy. Everybody has fat, and so fat does not directly correlate with healthiness. However, it is so crucial to not ignore the scientific fact that the more fat comes with more health risks. While certain health risks such as diabetes can occur in anybody in any body, being overweight or obese may very well develop health risks that would not have happened in the first place. I'd like to take me for an example. Recently, I was diagnosed with a pseudotumor causing swelling on my eyes and nerves. After 2 weeks of eating a healthier diet and exercising more, the swelling had already drastically decreased. Had I listened to fat positive influencers that tell me to eat what I want and enjoy life as myself, it could very well have costed me my vision, brain function, or even my life. And let us be honest, how many people actually get routine health checkups? Many diseases such as mine never show up physically. I mean, who would have thought that my headaches and blurry vision was directly correlated to my weight? I actually plan to do more research on this topic and write an article about it. If anyone has good references to the past articles or agree with my opinion or disagree, I would be so happy to read them. I also welcome any comments that disagree with me. The only thing I ask is that no fat shaming, no skinny shaming, or any kind of shaming that goes on in the comments. It's possible to talk about this topic without openly admitting you dislike or hate a certain type of body. Too long didn't read. Fat positive influencers that teach us to eat what we want, denounce losing weight, and live life happily as we are may be causing more harm than good. Fat positivity and body positivity are not the same. And now let's go ahead and read a few of the comments. There's just a few on this thread. The first one says, most of the talk about fat positivity revolves around flat earther style redefinitions of health. There's no point trying to convince someone who doesn't listen to their own doctor. This leaves the question of whether we should tolerate these conspiracy theorists. In nearly every case, obesity is a serious moral failing. It's the inability to control appetites. Like all moral failings, we can point fingers at others or theorize about mental illness and say someone isn't really responsible for it. But we are only a few decades from a time where there was nearly no obesity. It's clear there is no factor outside an adult's control that causes obesity. My view is we should not tolerate immoral behavior. I think one of the reasons we got to this obesity epidemic is we got to a point where the vast majority of us live without community as isolated consumption machines. While we can blame capitalism for that and for how hard it is to overcome, we can only blame ourselves if we don't overcome it. The closest thing to a good exception to this is that in very poorly educated communities, there is a subset of people who are also very poor who buy processed foods like Spam and frozen fried goods. While these people could easily control their diets if given the right education, it's hard to blame them when supermarkets are smashing them over the head with savings and marketing to get them to maximize how much crap they eat. Luckily, this is a tiny percentage of obese people. Most people who eat crap food are fully aware it's crap and fully aware they can choose better. And then the original poster agrees with that perspective. And that brings us to the next and final thread of comments here. Let's go ahead and read it. Even before I lost weight, I hated these people. Like, how do they expect medical professionals to take them seriously when they can't even attempt to care of themselves? But I still feel bad because some of them are genuinely delusional. They think that a slow metabolism makes being 300 plus pounds perfectly healthy. I've seen many people say what they're eating has a third of the calories that it actually has, so that they can call it healthy. They always have BS excuse after BS excuse of why they can't change. They seem to think something traumatic happening at the age of 6 and being morbidly obese at the age of 40 have any correlation. And then the original poster replies, yes, I agree. I feel bad as well because I can see how someone grew up to believe things like that. My incredibly nice and supportive parents told overweight 8-year-old me that I was just big boned and that I was still beautiful. So, for the longest time, I told myself I can't lose weight or ever be fit because I'm big boned, so what's the point? But I grew up and realized, wow, my parents were probably just not trying to outright say I'm fat. And that's okay. I'm now a fully functional adult capable of seeing that weight loss and health are important things in life. And then just some final back and forth here. One replies, I've never understood how your child losing weight is such a taboo thing for parents, but they're willing to let 8-year-olds wear expensive shoes, jewelry, dye their hair, etc. And OP replies, mine could have been because I was raised by my grandparents and they love their grandbabies to be eating. LOL, but no really though. There can be 1,000 factors, but truly no excuses. Now, in these new videos, in this new format, like all the old videos, I don't really intend to add my own opinion, but I feel like I can at least share a quick perspective of all the many videos we've covered on the channel regarding this topic. And I would say that some of these comments may be a little insensitive to just factors out of people's control. There are many accounts, many stories on this channel of a very good reasoning for why sometimes in life things can be out of your control. We're not all on an equal playing field, and some people, especially in childhood situations, are kind of given a situation that is totally different from someone else. And I think based on the previous stories on the channel, there would be a perspective there that shows that you can kind of admit that we're not equally the same in terms of our background and how that impacts our health by many factors. But we still have the power to choose in this moment what we want to do. But I'd love to hear your opinion on this topic. Like I said, I don't want to get too opinionated. I'd rather just kind of share the opinions we've seen. There's been over 400 videos on the channel and many topics are recurring. But I hope you enjoyed the short video and this new discussion. I put it in the last video, but I decided for this new kind of change, we're probably not going to go with music just to keep it a little more direct. And that way, if someone just wanted to listen while they had music on in the background, they could do that as well. But if anyone does actually miss the music and prefers these discussions with music, feel free to comment that and I will consider that as well. Thank you very much. This has been Luke, and I'll see you in the next one.